Hey everyone, it's finally time for my FNCS Global Championship prediction video. In this video, I'm going to go over the upper bracket map and all of the contests we are going to be seeing and give my opinions on each of them and how I think they're going to go. Then I'm going to go over which teams from upper bracket I expect to pop off and do well. Then I'm also going to go over the lower bracket and finally wrap the video up talking about which teams I expect to be the favorites in finals this weekend, and also some sleeper picks to pop off. Gonna maybe do daily update videos all weekend, so let's try to get this video to 500 likes, and also hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Now let's get into the video. Starting off looking at the map, we have lots of contests all around the map and also a lot of really good teams on con. Starting off with the contest, we want to talk about the biggest matchup, of course, Kanata Agers and Thomas HD and Malabuka. Now, a lot of people think this is about to be just a straight up 50-50, but me personally, I believe this is going to be a split fight and they won't really fight at all. Kanata and Agers, I expect to be going to the left side with the slurp truck at racetrack, and also maybe going over to where the little katanas used to spawn and getting that loot as well, getting surge from there. And then I expect Thomas HD and Malbuka to get the right half of racetrack and also be playing for the forecast tower, which is just east of the drop. I'm not expecting them to fight really at all, but if they do end up fighting, I kind of want to lean towards Thomas HD and Malbuka winning here. But my guess, out of the 5 games in upper bracket, they're probably going to maybe fight once or twice. And then in finals, in the 6 games, they might play it a bit differently. But at the same time, they're probably going to be trying to win. So they're probably going to have to split it if they want to do that. Moving on to the next major contest, we have Vico, Pink, and Acorn and Cold. Now, this is one that actually should be a fight almost every game. And I'm actually leaning towards Vico and Pink here. Acorn and Cold, we haven't really gotten to see fight too much off spawn, but I believe they are a bit weaker off spawn, and Vico and Pink are probably going to be a bit better off spawn. But out of off spawn, I expect Acorn and Cold to be fine, and Vico and Pink to be fine if they do win. I do believe both of these teams could qual in the upper bracket, but probably will be one qual, one not qual, and then the other team will qual in the lower bracket. And then they'll end up fighting again in finals. The next contest we have is Cami Seti and Data Stain. This is EU versus Asia. Data and Stain have been tweeting a lot that they want to fight this, so I'm excited to see how they play against Cami and Seti, the EU powerhouse duo. Cami and Seti should mop the floor with them if they do fight, but it'd be a really cool story to see Data and Stain pop off and qual and maybe even outplace Cami and Seti in finals somehow. Moving on to south of Frenzy Fields, we got King and Phaser and Cal and 7-Man fighting at Relentless Retreat. All 3 mythic spots are con, and I expect them to all 3 play out the same exact way. I expect Repulse Jace, Zagu Peppleclip, and Nutty Gabzero and Booga Threats, and King Phaser, Cal 7-Man to all probably split their drops, but maybe fighting for the vault every now and then. But in all of these drops, there is enough loot for these teams to split, so I'm kind of expecting all 3 of these drops to be split. And we've already seen Booga and Threats split with Peterbot and Byla in a cash cup before, so I'm expecting it to play out similarly to that. The next contest I want to talk about is whatever is happening near Creaky. We have 7 teams in this area, and all of them are probably just absolutely done for. I'm expecting Alex, Worthy, iDrop, Mappy to be a dogfight, but I'm expecting Alex and Worthy to win there. And then moving on to Creaky, I'm expecting Reet and Ritual to absolutely dominate Skits and Sorf, because Skits and Sorf coming into this tournament didn't even want to play anymore. And then Bobby and Larkpex is a crazy one. They're literally landing on absolutely nothing, so GG's to them. And then Dukes and Edgy should outpower Ping and Kiri at the old Temple Vault split. So overall, all of these teams, I'm expecting a lot of these 7 teams to be going down to the lower bracket. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 1 or 2 of these 7 teams made it to finals after day 1, and most of them go down to the lower bracket. Then we have an off spawn that actually should be a pretty good one, and they should fight every game. We got Poyo and Spinks versus Vanyak and Karmi, EU versus NA, Battle of the Titan regions. We'll have to see what happens here. Vanyak and Karmi are just like Skits and Sorif, who don't really want to play with each other heading into the tourney, so they might not be that prepared going in. So I'm kind of expecting Poyo and Spinks, the duo that's been landing here for a while now, to kind of handle this one pretty easily. Both of these teams might be in trouble though, because Yamzo and Rise might be looking to clean this up or getting some tags that could affect the fight. So we'll just have to really see how this one plays out, but it's probably going to end pretty badly for both of these teams if I had to imagine. The last 2 full contests we have is Gon and Pingu versus G-Ross and Chari above Shady Stilts. I mean, this one is a bit of a toss-up. I haven't really seen Gon and Pingu play, but G-Ross and Chari are a very good team off spawn apparently, so I'm expecting the EU team to get the best of the Brazil team at this off spawn. And then to the east of that, we have Misha and Tenny versus Baka and Pars at the dock split. I'm expecting Baka and Pars to win this one. They're one of the best teams coming from NA going against the EU team that has been known to fight at this drop, but they aren't really the greatest off-spawn team. So I'm kind of expecting Baka and Pars to handle this one pretty easily. And then lastly, we have a Shattered Slabs contest, but I think it's going to be a split, just like Shattered Slabs is always split. A South team and a North team. Snazy Podosai going South, probably going to just split that and not fight M. Sherry and Rue, who are going North. This is an EU versus Middle East battle, but I'm expecting it to not be fought at all. Now I want to talk about the teams that I'm expecting to absolutely pop off from the upper bracket. We got the big names, of course. We got Queasy Vino, I'm expecting to do insanely well. I'm expecting Yamzo Rise to do insanely well and qual easily. I'm expecting Taysom Murstoch to qual easily. Cooper Marrow should qual easily. I honestly think Bucky and Oka should qual pretty easily in this bracket. Then you got the con teams that probably will qual as well. We got Cammy and Seti should probably make top 25 easily. Kanata Agers, Thomas HD, and Malibuka should all qual pretty easily. Then for some of the sleeper teams on other regions, I really think Anon and Sons should qual. Anon wants to put OC on the map, and this would be a perfect opportunity to. He's landing over at Naughty Nets though, so like Surge may be an issue there. We know Bolts and Thork love tagging Naughty Nets, so we're gonna have to see how that goes. Hitos and PHN should qual with ease, and then I'm thinking King and Phaser also qual with ease from Brazil. So the Brazil teams, I think again in the finals are gonna end up popping off again. Brazil is a super underrated region to me, and they're absolutely insane at the game. Another sleeper team a lot of teams aren't talking about is Muzz and Paper. They play very, very good from this edge drop at Breakwater Bay. They were going just to the east of it where Hero and Fahad are landing, but it's basically the same rotates for them, so I'm expecting Muzz and Paper to have a good performance once again and really be one of those teams that NA is going to be counting on this weekend to pop off and place really well in the finals. And then of course I can't leave out the Asia boys. We got Zagu Pebbleclip, who I'm expecting to pop off and qual easily as well. They're fighting Repulse and Jace, the real Repulse, apparently not the controller cheater that's been playing on his account the whole entire year, but that's another conversation for a different day. But Zagu and Pebbleclip, I'm expecting to qual pretty easily and be the best Asia team this weekend, and they're one of my favorite duos, and I'm rooting for them to do well because I'd love to see an Asia team place well in the finals. Let me know your guys' thoughts on how you think this upper bracket is going to go. Who you think's going to pop off, some underrated picks from other regions maybe. Let me know how the off spawns are going to go to you, and also who you think is going to win each off spawn if you think they're going to fight at every drop. So let me know down in the comments below, and now let's move on to the lower bracket. Looking at the lower bracket, it's really hard to tell how it's going to go, and if you guys did not know, we got Curb and Wixie as an EU and Asia duo who don't speak the same language, so they're going to be doing what Threats and Alice did last year at the FNCS Invitational by just really calming in pings. But this duo is forming because Wixie's teammate could not make the land due to visa issues, and Curb's teammate of course is Russian, so he wouldn't be able to make it as well. So this duo got to form since they're in the same bracket, so it'd be really cool to see them make finals, and I bet everyone out there is rooting for them to do well. But pretty much everybody's on con right now besides Peterbot and Fishy and Talls. I believe Fishy and Talls want to play for the vault, so that could be pretty scary for Peterbot and Vila if they want to play for the vault as well. This could be a pretty aggressive off spawn fight. Fishy and Talls are double controllers, so that could be the counter to a duo like Peterbot and Vila that are very aggressive as well. So we'll really have to see how that plays out. And then other than that, I don't really know who's going to be con and who's not going to be con. But the obvious teams that should qual are Janice Rezon, Scented Polarized, Vidil Mr. Savage, Clicks Epic Whale, Thatch Pamstu. But we'll really just have to see what the map ends up looking like after day one's upper bracket. If you guys aren't sure how the upper bracket and lower bracket works, go watch my video from last week talking about it. I break down the entire format and how it works, so make sure to watch that video if you're still unsure. And also the maps will be updating if anything changes, and also the finals map will be updating in my Discord as always. Now I want to talk about my favorites going into the tournament, who I think is going to probably end up winning. Obviously we don't know who's going to be con and who's not going to be con in finals, so we'll really just have to see. But obviously Cammy, Seti are my favorites. I think they're the best EU team, and I think they're going to be the most consistent all weekend long. We already know how consistent they are in every final, so they're the clear favorites for me to win it all. Then you got Queasy Vino. Queasy Vino are the pop-off EU team. They could pop off and win by a mile. You never really know, but I'm expecting them to maybe struggle with a lot of high teams playing, like King Phaser and other duos that like to go height. Then I'm not going to leave out the NA boys, of course. We got Booga Threats. I'm expecting Booga Threats or Rise and Yams to be the best NA team. Yams or Rise mid-map on con. They're probably going to play their very consistent play style and pop off, but we haven't seen them win an FNCS yet, so I can't can't really say I think they're going to win. And then you got Bugha and Threats. Can never count out Bugha at LAN, of course, and also can't count him out in any FNCS, of course. I'm expecting Bugha and Threats to go absolutely crazy. And with their very advanced strat that they use, throwing the EMP grenades at vending machines, getting whatever perks they want, they have a very thought out game plan this time. Unlike last year when Bugha and Marrow didn't have a game plan at all. So I'm expecting Bugha to play much, much better at this LAN. Other than that, I think some sleeper teams could be King and Phaser. King loves the high ground, and I think King gets the high ground whenever he chooses. So I think King and Phaser are going to be a very dark horse team to end up winning it all. Maybe get a win or two and pop off with some kills. I think with the 6-game format, it could benefit a team like this that plays very aggressive and are very pop-off heavy. Other teams that could be sleepers are Bucky Okus. We've seen what Bucky and Okus can do when they pop off, just like day 2 at Grand Finals last season. But I personally think Bucky and Okus's whole tournament just depends on how many islands they get, because they play their best when they are playing aggressive and going for the island, because that's when they get the most points and pop off, get the best loot, and get height and win games. So we're just really going to have to see how aggressive this team plays and how well they play this weekend. Other storylines are, will Tayson finally place good at LAN, or will he kind of throw again? We'll really just have to see. I think Tayson will do good at this LAN. I'm not too sure how they're going to place, but I'm expecting a top 10 out of Tayson, and a lot of people are expecting him to do even better than that, and I'm sure he will do better than that. We'll just have to see though. Moving on from Tayson, I've seen a lot of people still thinking Thomas HD and Malbuka have a chance at winning. It is a one-day format. You never know what's going to happen, but I just don't see Thomas HD, Malabuka, or Kanata and Adris really winning or doing top 5. Both of these teams are very good with whatever loot they're given, but I think with splitting, it's going to be a bit hard for one of these teams to have really good loot every game and win. But at the same time, these are 4 of the best players in the world, so you can never really count out duos this good at the game. Some other duos I'd really like to see pop off in finals are Kitos and PHZin, Zagu Peppleclip, Hero Fahad. I'm really hoping Middle East and OC have some pretty solid placements in finals. Don't really know if that's going to happen, but it'd be really cool to see these smaller regions have some good placements in a builds LAN for the first time ever. I want you to comment down your favorites going into the weekend for finals, and also let me know some picks from other regions, maybe who you expect to get top 10 or top 5. I think at this LAN, we'll see another Brazil team get top 5. I think it'll be either King or Kitos. Brazil is really just a super underrated region to me. They have so many good players with such good mechanics, and they play so aggressive, and it just always seems to work somehow. But let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that's going to be happening this weekend. And if you guys have any questions or want to chat down in the comments, I always reply to all my comments, so make sure to comment down below if you have any questions or any bold takes for this weekend, and I'll make sure to answer. But that's going to do it for me in this video, guys. Remember to make sure to join my Discord for the finals map and any of these maps if they ever update. It's going to be a good weekend full of some great Fortnite action. I hope you guys enjoyed this video talking about the contest, how I think they're going to go, talking about the upper and lower bracket, and also talking about teams who I think are the favorites heading into this weekend and who's going to pop off in finals. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.